Governments seeking to effect significant change on issues like the rental shortage have two basic options: the carrot approach or the stick approach. The carrot approach involves providing genuine incentives to influence behaviour. The stick approach entails punishing people with new or higher taxes if they don't do what the government wants. In Australia right now, we have two state governments playing out the alternative approaches. In Western Australia, they've adopted the enlightened approach of providing encouragement and incentives for people to bring new supply to the rental market, which is the only viable option and the only way to solve the shortage problem. Victoria, on the other hand, has decided to punish investors for being investors. You could almost believe that the politicians running Victoria believe property ownership is a criminal activity. This may help to explain why property investors are heavily focused on buying in Perth and the key Western Australian regional markets, while investors are more likely to be selling than buying in Victoria, despite the merits of buying in Melbourne and regional Victoria on the current favourable economic, population and market factors. The difference is that Western Australia has introduced measures to encourage investors in that state, while Victoria is seriously discouraging investors. One of the current West Australian market measures is to own a property for a short-term letting, such as Airbnb, with a cash incentive from the state government to convert them into long-term rental for permanent tenants. Another Western Australian initiative is to encourage property owners to build granny flats to increase dwelling supply. This will also increase urban density and slow down the urban sprawl. The relaxed amendments to the state's residential design codes will boost housing supply by removing the minimum lot size requirements for an ancillary dwelling, commonly known as a granny flat. The alternative housing type will no longer require council planning approval and can be constructed on any property lot size. The key stipulations are that the new dwellings will need to meet setback requirements and must not exceed 70 square metres in size. In a further measure to increase dwelling supply, the West Australian Government is offering residential builders interest-free loans to help them complete unfinished properties. The Builders Support Facility will provide interest-free loans to support eligible residential builders to complete new homes that have been under construction for more than 2 years. And in a newly announced measure included in the new state budget, the West Australian Government is now also providing a cash incentive for owners of vacant homes to make them available for long-term rentals. This is a $5 million incentive scheme to convince owners of vacant homes to offer them onto the rental market. The scheme will offer owners $5,000 to offer their vacant properties onto the market. The government is said to have hoped that it will lead to 1,000 or more homes adding to the rental pool. The West Australian budget is also tipping $840 million into social and affordable housing and homelessness initiatives to increase supply and support across Western Australia. It will allocate an extra $400 million to boost the Social and Affordable Housing Investment Fund, aiding in the expansion and renovation of social housing. This latest initiative from the Affordable Housing Initiative Investment Fund adds nearly 5,000 new social homes funded by the current government, with over 2,100 already completed. Additionally, another 1,500 homes have been refurbished. In contrast, the latest measure announced by the cash-strapped Victorian state government is to scrap the state's Victorian Home Buyer Scheme, which was set up to help young people into the home ownership. Victoria is weighed down by debt and is seeking to use the housing industry to both save money and earn more, with new taxes and higher existing taxes on property investors. The Victorian approach will make the housing shortage in that state worse. In contrast, the Western Australian approach will bring new supply to the market in a constructive way and to help alleviate the rental shortage.